The temporal thread in the heart of Moscow, where winter's breath painted frost flowers on ancient windows, Groosha Volkov sat before his triple monitor setup, his weathered hands dancing across a drawing tablet. At 30, he'd learned to navigate life's complexities from his wheelchair with the grace of someone who'd discovered that true movement comes from within. His latest commission, a logo for a tech startup, felt hollow, another corporate soul rendered in vectors and gradients. The city hummed its electric lullaby beyond his studio apartment, but tonight felt different. The aurora borealis, impossibly visible this far south, painted the sky in sheets of emerald and sapphire. Groosha paused, stylus hovering mid-stroke, as something stirred in the cosmic dance above. "Chrysota," he whispered. "Beauty." 1,000 years hence, in what was once called New Geneva, Alana stood at the edge of the temporal observatory. Her 18 years felt like lifetimes in an age where consciousness flowed like rivers between dimensions. Dark hair cascaded past her shoulders, framing skin so pale it seemed to capture moonlight itself. But it was her eyes, those striking pools of greenish blue, that held secrets older than her world. The crystalline headband resting against her temples caught the light of distant stars. To untrained eyes, it appeared as simple as frosted glass, but this piece of semi-transparent ice held technology beyond ancient imagination. Through it, her mind could reach across space, time, and the gossamer threads that connected all living souls. Tonight, something called to her. A longing that echoed from the past. Back in 2025 Moscow, Groosha's latest design began to shift on its own. Lines curved impossibly, colors bled into new spectrums, and slowly, a face emerged, one he'd never seen yet somehow knew. Dark hair, pale skin, eyes like Arctic seas under summer skies. His breath caught as his software captured each change, recording what should have been impossible. K2 Tai, he typed into the design file's notes. "Who are you?" Across the temporal divide, Alana felt the question like a whisper against her consciousness. Her headband pulsed with gentle light as she focused, reaching through the quantum foam that separated their eras. She'd trained for years to touch objects across space, but this was touching a soul across time. "I am Alana," she thought, willing the words across the centuries. "And I've been searching for you." Groosha's screen flickered. New text appeared in Cyrillic characters he didn't remember typing. "A Alana, Ia Iskala Tiba." His heart hammered against his ribs. Years of loneliness in a world that often saw his wheelchair before his soul had taught him to expect little from the universe. Yet here was impossibility, reaching out with gentle fingers. How? He managed to think clearly, somehow knowing she would hear. Through her crystalline conduit, Alana smiled. In her time, they'd learned that love operated outside linear physics, that twin flames could find each other across any distance, any barrier, any span of years. "Love needs no explanation," she replied, her thoughts arriving as warmth in his chest. "It simply is." Night after night, they met in the space between seconds. Groosha would work on his designs while Alana guided objects in her laboratory, but always, their consciousness intertwined. He showed her Moscow's ancient beauty through his eyes. The red square covered in snow, the way golden domes caught morning light, the quiet strength he'd found in rebuilding his life after the accident that claimed his legs. She shared her world in return, cities that floated among clouds, art that lived and breathed, a humanity that had finally learned to see beyond surface differences. Through her, he glimpsed technologies that made his wheelchair obsolete, not through miraculous healing, but through a world redesigned for every kind of human experience. "In my time," she explained during one of their ethereal meetings, "we understand that bodies are just vessels. The soul travels as it needs to." "You sound like my babushka," Groosha replied, warmth coloring his thoughts. "She used to say the heart knows no boundaries." "Wise woman. I would have liked to meet her. She would have loved you." She always said I'd find someone who sees within her eyes. As months passed, something extraordinary began to happen. Groosha's designs gained otherworldly beauty, touched by aesthetic sensibilities from a more evolved age. Clients fought over his work, unable to explain why his art moved them to tears. Meanwhile, Alana's scientific research leaped forward as she applied problem-solving approaches from a more practical era. But more than professional success, they were healing each other's loneliness across the vast expanse of time. "Sometimes I wonder if this is madness," Groosha admitted one evening as northern lights painted his windows green. "If it is," Alana replied, her presence warm in his mind, "then it's the most beautiful madness in the universe." Their love existed in stolen moments, thoughts shared across temporal streams, emotions that needed no words, a connection that proved consciousness could transcend any limitation. They were twin flames burning in different centuries, yet somehow casting the same light. On a particularly clear night, as Alana stood in her observatory and Groosha gazed from his Moscow window, they felt it, a perfect moment of synchronicity. Her crystalline headband blazed with inner fire as she reached across the years, and for one impossible instant, they touched. Not physically, but completely. Two souls, one love, united across the infinite expanse of time itself. "Du vstic, moa lubov," Groosha whispered into the cosmos. "Until we meet, my love." "Always already together," Alana replied, her smile lighting up the future. Twin flames never truly part. And somewhere in the quantum space between moments, between heartbeats, between the tick of cosmic time, their love wrote itself into the very fabric of existence, proof that some connections transcend every boundary the universe dares to create.